Hi, this is Beth of Agility Matters here in Pemberton, BC. We're camping at the Green River, which flows out of Green Lake in Whistler, makes its way down to Harrison Lake in the lower mainland and the Fraser River and ultimately the Pacific Ocean. So we've got this beautiful sound behind us, and we will get started on a routine that is going to include both standing and sitting. And I've got here a sturdy camp chair, blue chair, whatever chair you have at home, whether it has arms or doesn't have arms, just make sure it's good and sturdy. We'll start warming up by marching and lifting our feet, getting those arms going, pushing back those elbows so we get a good swing in our shoulder joint and work our triceps. We will march wide, lifting up those knees and march in. And you're just going to follow me visually as I give a little bit of a talk about our feet. So, our feet, you'll notice I'm speeding up a bit, going on my toes. So, our feet have the longest nerves and the longest blood vessels in our body. And they have 26 bones, 33 joints, and over 20 muscles. So there is a lot going on in our feet, which gives signals to our brain, telling us what the surface is that we're walking on. As we age, we start to lose the fat under the pads of our feet, and our joints start to spread, our ligaments start to stretch, and we lose muscles throughout our body and in our feet. So, we want to slow down that progress of muscle loss and spread as much as possible. And we want to strengthen those muscles so that we have that sensitivity so that we can maintain balance. So, with that as our backdrop, we're going to go up on our toes a little bit more and back down to the full flat sole of our feet. And now we're going to do a little bit of walking on our heels. So if you find that that is causing you imbalance, you just go behind your chair, walk on those heels, walk on those toes nice and tall, back down to the heels. Excellent. I'm going to take a big step and a big step the other side. Lateral big steps. Move it, keeping those arms moving. Dipping down. Keeping those arms going. What we're just doing is warming up the body, activating the different joints and muscles. And one more for each side. Excellent. Moving that foot forward, so we're going to just take the heels and tap them forward and get that motion going. So you can just keep your arms moving as you get used to this the heel tap. Standing close to the chair if you need to reach out to get your balance. Then you've got that there. That's why we want a sturdy chair. I'm going to add some arms now. And it's a stop sign. Arm. Same side as your heel. Just like, hold on there, buddy. Stop. That's why I call them stop sign arms. This is good for the wrist as well. And And I'm going to do a little bit of brain work for you here. So we're going to change to alternate arms. So just keep the feet going. Don't worry too much. We don't want this to be complicated, but if you want to work your brain as well, then you'll see, I can't even do it. So now we're doing alternate arm and heel. Great. We're going to change up the arms again. We're going to go back to same side and just going to scoop that arm up and over and point those toes down towards, or point the fingers down towards the toes. It's just like you're doing a swimming stroke. And this just gets the blood moving into those the joints in the shoulder, and you're elevating your heart rate by raising your arms. Excellent. And one more for each side. Super. We're going to want a little bit of space now. We're going to be making a lateral movement and tapping our toe in. So you're just taking a nice big step and tapping your toe in. Take a little pause there. Hold that balance. You're working your core. And we'll add the arms now that we've got that going. Just lifting them up and down. Nice big step. Super, just holding that. If you find that you're losing your balance by bringing that toe in, of course, then you just bring it in a little bit further out. I'm just showing you best practice. And one more for each side, then we're going to change it, keeping the feet going. Just going to reach down, pull up. You're going to feel those shoulder blades in the back moving out. This is really good postural work. And you're also stretching your chest muscles by bringing those shoulders back and pulling up. You just widen the front of your chest, your pectorals. And keep those feet going. We're going to change the arms and just reaching out. Don't stretch those arms out too far forward. There's a reason for that. And that is that we don't need to stretch those back muscles in that way. We spend so much of our life crouched over that we really want to emphasize stretching our front muscles and strengthening the shoulders. Excellent. We're going to do one more for each side, and then we will go back to a neutral position. So our feet will be just slightly wider than our hips, and we'll just bring our arms, fingertips pointing towards each other, and we'll just slightly rotate back and forth. If you feel your knees are hurting, then you just won't turn quite so much. But if your knees feel good and stable, of course our knees aren't locked straight, they're slightly bent. And we can just go down a little bit now, still mobilizing our muscles supporting our spine. Taking our head with us, so we take our whole spinal column. And one more to this side, pushing that elbow back and around to the other side and pushing that elbow back, and then neutral position. Excellent. And we'll come up, bringing our feet in just aligned under our hips. And we're going to go back to that foot strengthening work by skip roping. So we've got this imaginary skip rope, and we just raise those heels about when we think that rope is going to come there. See if we can remember that when we were last skip roping. And of course, we have to go backwards. We have to prove to everybody that we can still go backwards. Just lifting those heels. This is such good work for our calves and our feet especially. Nice big arm as we turn that rope. Excellent. We're going to have you come in front of your chair or someplace in your apartment or your patio, wherever you are, and make sure you've got plenty of room laterally to move and in front. So I would say about 8 feet laterally and about 8 feet in front. This is called the monster walk. This walk activates our glute muscles, front of our upper leg, and our hip muscles. We want to keep our toes pointed forward. We're just going to come down a bit. Roll your shoulders back. Bring your arms in front like this. And we're just going to take steps forward. And back. Just nice and slow. If you find that you are feeling quite stressed down here, then you just bring it up a bit. But if you can, just kind of sneak up real monster-like and then take steps back. Monster Mash song, I should be playing that. And now we're going to take steps to the side. So we just move one leg out and the other, coming to the side, remembering to keep those toes pointing ahead. And if you start to feel this is really painful in your glutes, then you just come up a bit. Excellent. I'm going to go back to where our starting position was. Great. One more standing exercise before we do some work seated. We want to activate those muscles supporting our ribs. So just keeping our knees soft and our feet a little bit wider than our hips. We have a good sturdy base. Bring our arms in front of us again, the fingers pointing towards each other, and just out and up and over. And feeling those shoulder blades go back. You'll see that my elbows are back as I bring those hands again in front, and then out and up and over. Elbows back. Bring these arms just in front, fingers in front, and arms up and over. And one more of that rotation. Back, out, and up. Excellent. Just before we go to be seated, let's roll those shoulders back. I don't do front rolls. As I said before, we spend so much time forward, eating, reading, typing. So it's all about opening up the chest and rolling those shoulders back and having that good posture, practicing that good posture. Going to be seated, and we're going to sit closer to the edge of the chair. Just making sure we're sturdily on the chair. As I said, it doesn't matter if you have arms or you don't have arms. And we're going to stretch out that the hips, and also we're doing some strengthening here as we lift that leg up and over. So just get used to this. It's called a hip lean. Just bring that up and over. And we'll add arms now. So we'll take that same side arm and we'll just mimic what the leg is doing. Bring that down. Same for this side. Up and down. And one more for each side. Up and over. See, you could do these when you're watching television. You know, lots of things that we can do when we practice them, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, I could be doing that while I'm watching the news. It's a hope. So now we're just going to put our arms around a big beach ball. We want to do something else with this beach ball, but it's got a lot of sand on it. So we got to get that sand off. So we're just going to take our hands up and over as far back as you feel comfortable. We don't want pain. And we'll just stretch those hands around and shave off that sand. One more time. Shave all that sand off of that beach ball. Great. Now we'll put one hand on the bottom of it, the other hand on top. We're just going to take that beach ball, we're going to rotate it to the side, it doesn't matter which side, and then we'll just change our hands and we will rotate it over to the other side, back, change which hand is on the bottom and which hand is on the top, bring it back over, changing hands, and this time we'll just bring it to the middle, and we will just have hands either side of that beach ball, gripping it well, and we'll just lift it up overhead, following with our face and down. Just going to set it down on the ground in front of us and then toss it out of the view of the camera. And now, still sitting close to the edge of the chair, put our feet out and then just bring our toes up, and we'll just pull those toes back. So just pull those toes back. Feel that lovely stretch in the back of your calf. That's your gastrocnemius and the soleus muscles getting a stretch. And now push those toes forward, away, and you're stretching now your tibialis anterior, the front of your calf, which is actually, as we age, very important, not more important, but very important. That's what helps us be able to go down stairs and go down inclines. Back now to the heels down, and we are just going to put both arms forward towards those toes and then bring them back, bring the elbows back, feel the core muscles engaging. Keep breathing, remembering to breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth. And now back towards those toes, stretching out your fingers towards the toes. And back, engaging those core muscles. Keep breathing. We don't want to put pressure on our diaphragm. One more time, forward and back. Excellent. Bringing those feet in under the knees. And if you would like to hold on to the arms of your chair or the sides of the seat of your chair, and we'll just bring a knee up, and we're going to point that sole towards me, towards the screen. You're just going to push that out and bring it back in. This is also some good core work. And for your knees, bring it out, push it out towards the camera or towards your screen. And in. And now we're going to point that toe out and just point it out, bring it down and slide it in under the knee. And we'll do the same thing, of course, equal opportunity. Bring that knee up, point that sole towards your screen and push it out and in. Feel that good core work. And one more. And now pointing the toe out and down and slide it in under the knee. Excellent. Going to do 3 sit to stands. You can use the chair if you'd like to, or you can cross your arms. We're just going to stand and be seated. Anybody who takes my classes in person will hear why we do this, so why shouldn't you hear it? We do this so that we can toilet ourselves right through till we say goodbye to this earthly home. So that's a really, it's good motivation for me. I don't know about you, but that's good motivation for me. So we are moving now into some stretching and just ending this session with some really feel-good moves. So we take a nice big step, a nice wide step, and I call these half windmills. We'll just bring our arms up in line with our shoulders, soften our knees, good sturdy base, palms facing the ground. And we're now going to just lean one knee out, so bending one knee out, bringing that hand up and looking up over those fingers. If you start to feel imbalanced at all, you just lower this movement to what feels comfortable for you. And coming down, but we're just going to completely shift it over to the other side, looking up over those fingers, and we'll come back to neutral position. I was hitting the chair, so I'm just going to push that out a bit. So neutral position, and we'll bring those palms facing up, and we will just lean that knee out, looking up over those fingers. And do the other side. I've got the sun coming up to the middle of the sky on this side. It's just beautiful. And up to neutral position. While we are here, nice and wide with our feet, just roll our arms back. And we're just going to take a little rest down here, putting our hands on those knees. We're just going to push this hip out. So you're just pushing this hip out, and this knee is coming out over the feet, over that foot. We're stretching our inner thigh. Come up to neutral position, and we'll just push that out the other side. It's really good to keep that inner thigh stretched. Of course, do this move to what feels comfortable for you. You don't want pain. Let's just hang out here a little bit and just kind of move that bum. Move your butt. Just rotating it side to side, feeling those muscles getting a lovely stretch. Excellent. Coming back up, and anybody who's watched my videos before knows that I like us to pivot our toes and our heels alternately to get back to neutral position. I'm going to just bend those arms over each other, and now we're going to push those elbows out and stretching our upper trapezius muscles. We're going to just lift the screen and check the weather. Pretty good day. Just pushing those elbows out, lower that screen, feel that stretch that goes right through the upper back muscles and through the shoulders. And relax, roll those shoulders back, keeping that same movement but looser, and just rock the baby side to side, pushing those elbows up. And let's just shake that out. Can give your neck a little stretch. Just rotating it once in each direction. Thanks so much for joining us today.